Welcome to Night Whisper. Night Whisper brings you the darkest tales from the shadows. Join our community. Subscribe, leave a like, and prepare yourself for stories that will haunt your dreams. I should have known something was off when they paid me $3,000 just for the night, she said. You honestly don't know what happened to her, do you? I was 24 and barely scraping by in the city of New York, slaving away at Guardian Elite security. Most nights I spent outside clubs checking IDs or cruising corporate lobbies. Pay was substandard, $12 an hour before taxes. Therefore, when the call came from my supervisor on the 28th of December informing me that I had won a prestigious assignment, I didn't hesitate to raise an eyebrow. $3,000 to attend a party on New Year's Eve at Meridian Tower. And it would all happen off the books. Before he finished the sentence, I had already said yes, says Sophia. The Meridian Tower is one of those buildings that exists in films. 70 stories of steel and glass in front of Times Square, places where apartments begin at 10 million and reach only into stratospheric figures. I had walked by it 100 times, wondering what it was like inside, I said. Now I was going to find out. I arrived at 7 p.m. on New Year's Eve. The employee entrance was on 42nd Street, a plain gray door between a Starbucks and a tourist trap selling I Heart NY shirts. I pressed the buzzer and gave my name. The door clicked open. Inside was a service elevator and a man in a security uniform. He was older, maybe 60, with gray hair and tired eyes. His name tag said Reynolds. You the new guy? He asked. Yeah, Marcus Hayes. He looked me up and down, then shook his head slowly. You shouldn't have taken this job, he said. I laughed. $3,000 for one night? I'd be crazy not to. 3,000. He repeated the number like it meant something. Same as always. The elevator opened. Reynolds stepped inside and I followed. He pressed the button for the 50th floor. Listen carefully, Reynolds said as we rose. There are rules for tonight. Follow them exactly. Do not deviate. Do not question. Just follow the rules. I nodded, thinking he was being dramatic. Rich people always had weird requirements. Don't look them in the eye. Don't speak unless spoken to. That kind of thing. Rule 1, Reynolds continued. Before midnight, do not go above the 48th floor. The 50th floor is restricted. Got it. Rule 2. After midnight, if any guest asks you to do something, politely refuse. Tell them you're under strict orders. That seemed odd, but I nodded. Rule 3. At exactly 12:01 a.m., you will lock all stairwell doors from the inside. Make sure they're secure. Why? Reynolds looked at me. His eyes were dead serious. Rule 4. If anyone tries to leave after midnight and asks you to unlock the doors, refuse. Tell them they can leave at 3 a.m. That sounds like false imprisonment, I said. Rule 5. He ignored my concern. At 3 a.m., unlock all doors and leave the building immediately. Do not look back. Do not ask questions. Just leave. The elevator stopped at the 48th floor. What happens if I break the rules? I asked. Reynolds stepped out into a marble hallway. You become part of next year's party. He walked away before I could ask what that meant. The 48th floor was stunning. Floor-to-ceiling windows showed Times Square below, already packed with people waiting for the ball drop. Crystal chandeliers hung from the ceiling. The furniture looked like it cost more than my car. There were 4 other security guards, all older men like Reynolds. They didn't talk much. They positioned themselves at the 4 corners of the main ballroom and stood there, watching. Guests started arriving at 8 p.m. They came in through a private elevator that opened directly into the penthouse. Men in tuxedos, women in evening gowns that probably cost tens of thousands of dollars. Everyone looked like they'd stepped out of a magazine. I stood near the elevator, making sure no one who didn't belong tried to come up. It was easy work. I checked names against a list, smiled, nodded, said Happy New Year about 40 times. By 10 p.m., there were maybe 200 people. They drank champagne and ate caviar and laughed at jokes I couldn't hear. A live band played jazz. It should have felt exciting, being around all that wealth and glamour. But something was wrong. The guests all looked perfect, too perfect. Their smiles were identical, their movements synchronized. When one person laughed, 5 others would laugh exactly 3 seconds later. When someone turned to look at the windows, half the room would turn with them. I told myself I was imagining it. Rich people were just different, that's all. At 11 p.m., Reynolds approached me. "Take a break," he said. "Go to the staff room, 47th floor." "I'm fine here." It wasn't a suggestion. I took the service stairs down 1 floor. The staff room was small, just a table and some chairs. 2 other guards were there, eating sandwiches. "First time?" one of them asked. His name was Patterson. "Yeah." "You remember the rules?" Reynolds told me. Patterson nodded. "Good. Don't break them. Last year a kid like you decided he didn't need to follow the rules, thought he knew better." "What happened?" "He's up there right now." Patterson pointed at the ceiling. "In a tuxedo, dancing with the others." I laughed nervously. "Come on." "I'm serious." Patterson wasn't smiling. "After tonight, if you're smart, you quit. Find another job. Forget this place exists." "Why do you keep coming back?" I asked. "Same reason you took the job. Money. But I follow the rules." At 11:30, my radio crackled. Reynolds' voice. "All personnel to positions, 30 minutes to midnight." I went back upstairs. The energy in the ballroom had changed. The guests weren't mingling anymore. They stood in a large circle around the room, all facing the windows. All perfectly still. 200 people. Not moving. Not talking. Just staring at Times Square below. It was the creepiest thing I'd ever seen. "Don't stare at them," Reynolds whispered, appearing next to me. "Just watch the elevator. Make sure no one else comes up." "What's wrong with them?" "Midnight's coming." I checked my watch. 11:40. The band had stopped playing. The entire floor was silent except for the faint sound of the crowd in Times Square, 48 floors below. 11:45. One of the guests turned to look at me. A woman in a red dress. Her eyes were completely black. Not just the pupils, the entire eye. Black like oil. I took a step back. She smiled, then turned back to the window. "Did you see that?" I whispered to Reynolds. "Ignore it. Follow the rules." 11:50. My hands were shaking. I wanted to leave, wanted to run to the elevator and get out of this building. But $3,000. I kept thinking about $3,000. 11:55. The television in the ballroom turned on by itself. It showed the ball in Times Square, ready to drop. The crowd below was chanting. The noise filtered up through the building. All 200 guests raised their arms at the same time. 11:58. "Get ready," Reynolds said. "When it hits midnight, you have 60 seconds to lock the stairwell doors, all of them. Then, get back here and don't move until 3 a.m. "What's going to happen?" "Just follow the rules." 11:59. The crowd below started counting down. The guests in the ballroom counted with them, their voices perfectly synchronized. 10, 9, 8. I gripped my keys. 7, 6, 5. Reynolds moved toward the main stairwell door. 4, 3, 2. I held my breath. 1. The ball dropped. Times Square erupted in cheers. Fireworks exploded over the city, and every single guest in the ballroom collapsed. They fell at the same instant. 200 people hitting the floor. No sound, no screaming. They just dropped like puppets with cut strings. "Go!" Reynolds shouted. I ran to the east stairwell, pulled the door shut, turned the key, locked. Ran to the west stairwell, locked it, ran to the north stairwell. As I reached for the door, it burst open. A man stumbled out. He wasn't wearing a tuxedo. He was in jeans and a Guardian Elite security uniform. He looked about my age. His eyes were wide with terror. "Help me," he gasped. "Please, You have to help me. Who are you? I'm Marcus Hayes. I worked security here last year. They won't let me leave, please. You have to get me out. My blood went cold. I'm Marcus Hayes. The man grabbed my arm. His grip was ice cold. No, he said. I'm Marcus Hayes. You're not real. You're what they created. You're the replacement. I shoved him back into the stairwell and slammed the door. Locked it. His screams echoed through the metal walls. I ran back to the ballroom. Reynolds was standing exactly where I'd left him. The guests were standing up, all of them, rising to their feet in perfect unison. They were smiling. Their eyes were still black. Good, Reynolds said. You locked the doors. There was someone in the stairwell. He said, Doesn't matter. You followed the rules. That's what counts. The guests began to move. They walked to the center of the ballroom and formed a circle. They held hands. They started to chant. The words weren't English, weren't any language I recognized. It sounded ancient, wrong. What is this? I asked. The renewal, Reynolds said quietly. It happens every year, midnight on New Year's Eve. Mr. Ashford performs the ritual. Who's Mr. Ashford? Reynolds pointed to the ceiling. He's upstairs, 50th floor. Has been since 1928. That's not possible. He's 126 years old. Every new year, he renews himself. Takes a year from each person in this room. They give it willingly. They're his guests, his followers. In exchange, he gives them wealth, power, success. The chanting grew louder. The lights flickered. Why do you work here if you know this? I demanded. Reynolds finally looked at me. His eyes were hollow. Because 20 years ago, I was you, standing where you're standing, and I broke the rules. I tried to stop the ritual. I tried to save someone. He pulled up his sleeve. His arm was covered in symbols, burned into his skin. He marked me. Now I can never leave. Every new year I come back. I work the party. I follow the rules. It's the only way to stay alive. A door opened on the far side of the ballroom, a door I hadn't noticed before. An old man walked out. He looked ancient, skeletal. His skin was like paper, but his eyes were bright and sharp. He wore a black robe covered in the same symbols that were on Reynolds' arm. This was Ashford. He walked to the center of the circle. The guests parted for him. He raised his arms. The chanting stopped. Another year, Ashford said. His voice was strong despite his appearance. Another renewal. I thank you all for your sacrifice. The guests bowed their heads. Ashford turned and looked directly at me. And I see we have a new witness, he said. Tell me, young man, have you followed the rules? I couldn't speak, couldn't move. Answer him, Reynolds hissed. Yes, I managed. I followed the rules. Ashford smiled. Good. Then you will live to see another year, unlike our previous security guard. He gestured to the circle. One of the men in tuxedos stepped forward. It was the man from the stairwell. The other Marcus Hayes. But he was different now. His eyes were black. His movements were synchronized with the other guests. He tried to interfere, Ashford said. Tried to stop the ritual. So he became part of it. Now he serves me. As do all who break the rules. The ritual began. Ashford placed his hands on the shoulders of two guests. They began to glow with a pale light. The light spread around the circle, connecting everyone. It grew brighter and brighter. Ashford's appearance changed. His skin filled out. His back straightened. Color returned to his face. He looked younger with every passing second. The guests started to age. Wrinkles appeared. Hair turned gray. Some of them fell to their knees. Ashford was stealing their years. The light pulsed. The air crackled with energy. I felt it in my teeth, in my bones. The windows rattled. The chandeliers swayed. then it was over. The light vanished. Ashford stood in the center of the circle, looking 50 years old, healthy, strong, renewed. The guests collapsed again. This time, they were breathing hard, exhausted. Some of them looked 10 years older. Some looked 20. They'd given their years willingly. Ashford walked past me toward the elevator. He paused. "Same time next year," he said. "I trust you'll remember the rules." He stepped into the elevator and was gone. The guests started to leave. One by one, they got to their feet, straightened their clothes, walked to the elevator like nothing had happened. Their eyes were normal again, brown, blue, green, human. By 2 a.m., the ballroom was empty except for the security guards. "Clean up," Reynolds said. "Then we wait until 3. We picked up champagne glasses, folded chairs, swept the floor. No one talked. We just worked in silence. At 2:30, I found Patterson in the staff room. "What happens if someone tells people about this?" I asked. Patterson laughed bitterly. "Who'd believe you? A billionaire performing a ritual to steal years from his party guests? You'd sound crazy. Besides," he tapped his chest, "we're all marked, just like Reynolds. We talk, we die." He showed me his arm. The same symbols burned into his skin. "When did Ashford mark you?" I asked. "He didn't. Not yet. But at 3 a.m. when we leave, check your arm. If you followed all the rules, you'll be clean. If you broke even one—" He trailed off. At 2:55, Reynolds gathered us in the ballroom. 3 a.m. in 5 minutes, he said. "Unlock the doors. Leave the building. Don't come back until next year unless you want to end up like the others." My watch hit 3 a.m. I unlocked the stairwell doors. The other guards did the same. We rode the service elevator down together. No one spoke. When we reached the street, it was still dark. Times Square was empty except for sanitation workers cleaning up the debris from the celebration. Confetti, empty bottles, the aftermath of a party. I walked 2 blocks before I stopped under a streetlight. Slowly, I pulled up my sleeve. My arm was clean. No marks, no symbols. I'd followed the rules. I should have felt relieved. Instead, I felt sick. I went home, tried to sleep. Couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Ashford's face. Saw the other Marcus Hayes with his black eyes. The next morning, I checked my bank account. $3,000 had been deposited, just like they'd promised. I quit Guardian Elite Security that same day, told my supervisor I was moving out of state, found a new job at a regular security company, worked mall patrols. Nothing weird, nothing dangerous. I thought that was the end of it. But on December 15th, a letter arrived at my apartment. Heavy cream paper. My name written in elegant script. Inside was a card. "You are cordially invited to the New Year's Eve celebration at the Meridian Tower. Your presence is requested. Your compensation will be $4,000. We look forward to seeing you again." It was signed with a symbol I recognized, the same symbol from Reynolds' arm. I threw the letter away, changed my phone number, started looking for apartments in other cities, but I know it won't matter. Because 3 nights ago, I woke up at 3 a.m. with a burning sensation on my arm. When I turned on the light, I saw it. A symbol, faint, like a scar just beginning to form, growing darker every night. I'm marked after all. Maybe I broke a rule without knowing it. Maybe just witnessing the ritual was enough. I don't know. What I do know is that in 6 days it'll be New Year's Eve again. And I have a feeling I'll be at the Meridian Tower, whether I want to be or not. Because Ashford doesn't let people leave. He just makes you think you can. And when midnight comes and the ball drops and Times Square erupts in celebration, I'll be standing in that ballroom again, following the rules, watching the ritual, waiting for the moment when I make a mistake, when I break a rule I didn't know existed, when I become one of them. standing in the circle with black eyes and a forced smile, giving my years to a man who should have died a century ago. Last night I received another letter. This one said, Rule 6, never tell anyone what you saw. You broke this rule when you told your roommate you quit because of a weird party. Come back or we come for you. I don't remember telling my roommate anything specific, but maybe I did. Maybe I was tired, careless. It doesn't matter. The mark on my arm is clear now. Dark. Permanent. I called Guardian Elite Security this morning, asked to speak to Reynolds. Reynolds doesn't work here anymore, they told me. He died 3 years ago. But I saw him. Talked to him. He was real. Unless he wasn't. Unless everyone at that party was already dead. Already taken. Already part of Ashford's collection. Unless I'm the only living person who walked out of the Meridian Tower that night. And maybe not for much longer. It's December 31st now, 11 p.m. I'm standing outside the Meridian Tower, the employee entrance, the same gray door. My hand is on the buzzer. I don't want to press it. I want to run, get on a train, leave New York, leave the country. But the mark on my arm is burning, and I can hear Ashford's voice in my head. Same time next year. The door opens before I press the buzzer. Reynolds is standing there. He looks exactly the same as last year. Same uniform, same tired eyes. You came back, he says. I didn't have a choice. He nods. None of us do. I step inside. The elevator is waiting. Reynolds presses the button for the 50th floor. Wait, I say. Last year you said not to go above the 48th floor before midnight. That was last year, Reynolds says. This year, you're one of us. Different rules apply. The elevator rises. My heart is pounding. What happens on the 50th floor? I ask. Reynolds doesn't answer. The elevator stops. The doors open. The 50th floor is a single massive room. The walls are covered in symbols. In the center is a stone altar. Ashford is there. He looks young, healthy, like a man in his 50s. But I know he's so much older. Around the room stand people in uniforms, security guards, waiters, staff members, all with the marks on their arms, all with dead eyes. They're his collection. Everyone who ever broke the rules, everyone who ever witnessed the ritual and thought they could escape. Welcome, Marka. Marcus, Ashford says, you're just in time. He gestures to the altar. Every year I need more than just the guests' years, he explains. I need anchors, people who've seen the ritual, people who are bound to this place. You're marked now, connected to the tower, to me. I want to leave, I say. Ashford laughs. You can leave, after the ritual, after you serve, after you help me collect the years, then you can go, until next December. I look at Reynolds. Is that true? He nods slowly. You work the party, you follow the rules, then you leave, and every year you come back. It's the deal. What if I refuse? Ashford's smile vanishes. Then you join them. He points to the corner of the room. In the shadows I see people, dozens of them, standing perfectly still, eyes black, unmoving, the ones who refused. The choice is yours, Ashford says. Serve me one night a year and live the other 364 days in freedom. Or refuse and serve me every single day for eternity. I close my eyes. It's not really a choice. What do I do? I ask. Ashford hands me an earpiece. Tonight, you're on the 50th floor. You help me with the ritual. You make sure everything goes smoothly. The guests are already arriving downstairs. At midnight, I'll need you to bring me certain items. Follow my instructions exactly. I take the earpiece. Through the window, I can see Times Square below, hundreds of thousands of people celebrating, counting down to midnight, excited for a new year. None of them know what's happening up here. None of them know about Ashford. about the ritual, about the price some people pay for power and wealth. Positions, Ashford says. The other staff members spread out around the room. They stand at the symbols on the walls, place their hands on them. I'm directed to stand at the altar. In my ear, Ashford's voice. At midnight, the guests downstairs will collapse. That's when the transfer begins. Your job is to monitor the life force as it flows up here. Make sure the channels stay open. Don't let any of it escape. How do I do that? You'll know. The mark connects you to the ritual. You'll feel it. 11:59. I can hear the countdown starting in Times Square. In my mind, I see my apartment, my normal life, the person I was 2 days ago, before the burning started on my arm. 10, 9, 8. I see my family, my friends, everyone who will never know where I am or what I'm doing. 7, 6, 5. I see next year and the year after. Decades of New Year's Eves returning to this tower, following orders, serving a man who should be dead. 4, 3, 2. The mark on my arm burns hotter. 1. The ritual begins. I feel it immediately. The mark on my arm ignites with cold fire. It's not painful exactly. It's more like every nerve ending in my body suddenly connects to something vast and ancient. Through the floor, I sense the guests below. 200 souls, all collapsed, all willingly giving up pieces of themselves. Their years flow upward like water through pipes. I can feel each individual stream of life force rising through the building. It's overwhelming. Each stream carries emotions, memories, the weight of lived experience. I feel a businessman's triumph as he closed his first $1 million deal. Feel a mother's joy holding her newborn. Feel a teenager's heartbreak. Feel an old man's regret. 200 lives flowing through me at once. My legs buckle. I grab the altar to keep from falling. Steady, Reynolds whispers from somewhere behind me. It gets easier. But it doesn't feel like it will ever get easier. This is too much, too intimate. I'm experiencing pieces of people's souls, and they're giving them away like party favors. Ashford stands at the altar, eyes closed, arms raised. The symbols on the walls glow with pale blue light. The other staff members press their hands against the symbols, channeling the energy. I watch Patterson against the east wall. His face is serene. He's done this before, knows how to handle the flow of stolen time. I watch another guard whose name I don't know. Tears stream down his face, but his hands stay pressed to the symbols. This is his burden, his price for being marked. Focus, Ashford's voice says in my ear. The first wave is always the strongest. Don't let it overwhelm you. The life force hits me like a physical blow. I gasp, stumbling back from the altar. It's like standing in a river, feeling years and memories and experiences rush past me. I catch fragments, but now I understand something terrible. The guests aren't just giving years, they're giving specific moments, the best moments, the peak experiences, the times they felt most alive. Ashford doesn't just steal time, he steals quality. He takes the best parts of people's lives and consumes them. A woman's wedding day flows past, her first kiss with her husband, the moment she said I do. 25 years of marriage compressed into pure emotional energy. Gone now. Consumed. She'll remember it happened, but won't feel it anymore. The joy is gone. Eaten. No, I whisper. This is wrong. Don't think about it, Reynolds says, moving closer. Just channel it. If you resist, the mark will burn you. He's right. When I try to pull back, the mark on my arm flares hot. It forces my hands back to the altar, forces me to participate. A woman's wedding day, a man's first business deal, a child's laughter, success, failure, love, loss. Decades of human experience flowing through my hands. Channel it to the altar, Ashford commands. I don't know how I know what to do. The mark knows. It guides my hands. I press my palms against the stone surface, and the energy flows through me into the altar. Ashford breathes it in. I watch his transformation up close. The gray in his hair vanishes, the lines on his face smooth. His posture straightens. He drinks the years like wine and becomes younger with every swallow. But something else is happening too. The years don't just disappear. They pool in the altar, condense, solidify. Ashford isn't just stealing time, he's collecting it, storing it. Excellent, he says, opening his eyes. They're bright gold now, glowing. This is a strong harvest, the strongest in years. We'll have plenty extra. Extra for what? I ask. He smiles. For emergencies, for gifts, for leverage. He walks to a wall covered in glass vials. Each one contains a glowing liquid. Bottled years. I can give them to those who serve me well, or take them from those who displease me. He picks up an empty vial and holds it under a spout on the altar. Golden liquid flows out. 1 year of stolen life captured in glass. How many years do you have stored? I whisper. Centuries, Ashford says casually. I've been doing this since 1928. That's 96 rituals. 96 New Year's Eves. Even after using what I need to sustain myself, I have thousands of years in reserve. The enormity of it hits me. He's not just an old man clinging to life. He's built an empire out of time itself. He can grant extended life, can take it away, can control anyone who wants to live forever. The guests downstairs aren't just party attendees. They're addicts, coming back every year for another hit of youth, growing more desperate, more willing to pay any price. The ritual is complete, Ashford announces. The glow fades from the symbols. The staff members step back from the walls. Below us, I sense the guests waking up, standing, leaving the ballroom, thinking another year has been bought. Clean the altar, Ashford tells me. Then you're free to go. Until next year. I want to argue, want to refuse, but the mark burns in warning. I clean the altar. At 3 a.m., I ride the elevator down with Reynolds and the others. We don't speak. What is there to say? We all made our choices. We all followed the rules, or broke them. And now we're bound. When we reach the lobby, Reynolds grabs my arm before I can leave. First time is always the hardest, he says quietly. His voice sounds older than before, tired. You'll have nightmares for weeks. You'll feel their memories mixing with yours. It fades, but it never completely goes away. How long? I ask. The memory bleed? 2, maybe 3 weeks? The guilt? He looks at me with those dead eyes. That's forever. I didn't know, I say. I didn't know what they were really giving up, their best moments, their joy. None of us knew, not at first, but now you do. And next year you'll come back anyway, because the mark doesn't give you a choice. He releases my arm and walks away into the snow. Patterson stops next to me. You did good tonight, kid. Kept the channel open. Didn't break. That's more than most people manage their first time. I felt everything, I whisper. Every memory, every stolen moment. Yeah. He lights a cigarette with shaking hands. That's the worst part, knowing exactly what we're helping him take. But here's the thing, Marcus. Those people up there, They chose this. They signed the contracts. They came back year after year knowing what they'd lose. We're just the help. We didn't make them do anything. That doesn't make it right. No, Patterson agrees. It doesn't. But it makes it survivable. You need to learn the difference between guilt and responsibility. One will eat you alive. The other you can carry. He walks away too, leaving me alone on the corner of 42nd Street. When I step onto the street, snow is falling. Times Square is quiet. The new year has begun. I walk home through empty streets, but I'm not alone. The memories from the ritual walk with me. I remember proposing to a woman whose face I've never seen. Remember the joy when she said yes. Feel the weight of the ring in my pocket. Feel the moment crystallize into perfect happiness. But these aren't my memories. They're his. A guest's. A moment Ashford consumed. I remember a father holding his daughter for the first time, the overwhelming love, the fierce protection, the certainty that life just changed forever. Not my memory. Stolen. I remember closing a business deal that made millions, the satisfaction, the validation, years of work paying off in one signature. Gone now. Fed to a monster. My apartment building appears through the snow. 43 steps to the 3rd floor. I've climbed them 1,000 times, but tonight each step feels wrong, like I'm walking through someone else's life. Inside, my apartment looks the same. Same furniture, same dishes in the sink, same clothes on the floor. But I'm different. The person who lived here 2 days ago didn't know about Ashford, didn't know about the rituals, didn't know that time itself could be commodified and consumed. That person was innocent. I'm not anymore. I try to sleep but can't. Every time I close my eyes, I'm someone else. I'm a grandmother watching her grandson graduate college, pride and joy mixing with the bittersweet knowledge that she's getting old. I'm a young man getting promoted to VP, finally proving himself, finally earning his father's respect. I'm a woman on her honeymoon in Paris, completely in love, completely happy, believing this feeling will last forever. All stolen, all consumed, all feeding Ashford's unnatural life. At 4 a.m., I give up trying to sleep. I sit on my couch in the dark and stare at the mark on my arm. It's darker now, more defined. The symbols seem to move when I'm not looking directly at them. This is permanent. At dawn, I stumble to the bathroom. My reflection shocks me. My eyes are hollowed out, skin pale. I look like I've aged 5 years overnight. Maybe I have. Maybe touching all those stolen years aged me. Or maybe it's just the weight of what I've done. I throw up. Twice. The second time, there's nothing left but bile. My phone rings. I don't recognize the number, but I answer anyway. Marcus Hayes? A woman's voice. Professional. Cold. Who is this? My name is Sarah. I'm Mr. Ashford's executive assistant. I'm calling to check on your condition after last night's ritual. How did you get my number? We have all your information, Marcus. Address, social security number, bank accounts, next of kin. We're very thorough. The threat is clear. They know everything about me, about my life, about everyone I care about. What do you want? Nothing right now. Just calling to inform you that the first ritual often causes psychological side effects, memory bleed, temporal sensitivity, difficulty distinguishing your experiences from absorbed ones. This is normal and will fade in approximately 2 to 3 weeks. What if it doesn't fade? We have medication that can help, but most people learn to adapt. The human brain is remarkably resilient. I can't do this again, I say. I can't feel that again. All those stolen moments, all that joy being ripped away. You will, Sarah says matter-of-factly. You're marked now. The compulsion is part of the binding. Next December, When we call, you'll come. You won't be able to help yourself. I'll fight it. She laughs. It's not a pleasant sound. They all say that, but the mark is ancient magic, Marcus. Older than cities, older than nations. It's been refined over 2 centuries of rituals. You can't fight it any more than you can fight gravity. Then what's the point of calling me? To offer you a choice. You can remain a passive servant. Come back every New Year's Eve, experience the ritual, feel the weight of it. Then return to your normal life for another year. Or, she pauses for effect. Or, you can become an active servant. Work for Mr. Ashford throughout the year. Help manage his operations. Receive proper compensation, access to resources, protection, and most importantly, access to the years we collect. I don't want stolen time. Everyone says that, until they see themselves aging, until they watch friends die, until they realize that every other human being is on a countdown clock except those of us who serve Mr. Ashford. I'm hanging up. One more thing. Her voice sharpens. Your bank account. Check it. I pull up my banking app. $3,500 has been deposited. Your compensation for last night. $3,000 for the ritual, plus a $500 bonus for completing your first channeling without breaking the connection. Future rituals will pay more, especially if you accept an active role. I don't want your money. Then give it to charity, but it's yours. And next month, you'll receive another payment. And the month after that. Because whether you like it or not, you're part of the organization now. She hangs up. I stare at my phone, at the money in my account. $3,500 for helping a monster steal joy from willing victims. I should give it back, should donate it, should burn it. But I don't, because rent is due next week, because my car needs new tires, because I have student loans and credit card debt and all the normal problems of a 24-year-old trying to survive in New York City. And $3,500 would solve a lot of those problems. The mark on my arm tingles, warm, approving. It knows I'm already compromised. The next 3 days blur together. I don't leave my apartment, call in sick to my regular security job. Don't answer calls from friends. Don't check social media. I just sit in the dark, trying to separate my memories from the ones I absorbed. The memory bleed is worse than Sarah described. I'm not just seeing fragments anymore, I'm living entire moments. I experienced someone's 10th birthday party in vivid detail. The cake, the presents, the surprise when all their friends jump out yelling surprise, the pure joy of being loved. I experienced someone's first kiss, behind the school gym. Nervous, electric. The moment when everything changes. I experienced someone's graduation, walking across the stage, hearing their name called, seeing their parents' proud faces. These aren't my experiences, but they feel real, more real than my actual memories. On the 4th day, January 4th, there's a knock on my door. I don't answer. The next few months are strange. I work my regular security job, pay my bills, see my friends. Everything seems normal on the surface. But I'm different. I notice things I never noticed before. The way time moves, the way people age, I can sense it now. Can feel the years accumulating on everyone around me. I see an old woman on the subway and know exactly how many years she has left. 3, maybe 4. I see a child playing in a park and feel the decades ahead of him. 80 years of possibility. It's like being able to see a countdown clock over everyone's head, knowing when their time will run out. It drives me slowly insane. In April, I receive a package. Inside is a vial of golden liquid and a note. For loyal service. This is 1 year. Drink it when you need it. There's more where this came from if you continue to serve well. A. I stare at the vial for hours. 1 year. Extra time. The thing everyone wants and can never have. I put it in my nightstand drawer and try to forget about it. But I can't. Because now I know the truth. Time isn't fixed. It can be bought, sold, stolen, traded, and Ashford controls the market. In June, I get a call from an unknown number. Marcus Hayes? A woman's voice. Who is this? My name is Sarah. I work for a man you know, Mr. Ashford. He has a job for you. I only work New Year's Eve. That was the deal. The deal has changed. Mr. Ashford needs security for a private event next week. You'll be compensated. $5,000. I'm not interested. That wasn't a request. Her voice hardens. Check your arm. I pull up my sleeve. The mark is glowing faintly. The mark compels you, Sarah says. When Mr. Ashford calls, you answer. That's how this works. I'll send you the details. She hangs up. 3 days later, I'm standing outside a mansion in Connecticut. It's a private party. 20 people, all wealthy, all desperate. They're buying years. Ashford sits in a throne-like chair, holding court. People line up before him like supplicants before a king. They offer money, properties, secrets, anything for more time. Ashford accepts their payment and gives them vials. I watch a 70-year-old man drink 3 years and de-age before my eyes. Watch a woman in her 60s become 40 in seconds. It's grotesque and miraculous at the same time. My job is simple. Stand at the door. Make sure no one uninvited enters. Make sure no one leaves without Ashford's permission. It's easy work. But it sickens me. These people are addicts, and Ashford is their dealer. After that night, the calls come regularly. Once a month, sometimes twice. Different cities, different parties. Always the same scene. Desperate people buying time they haven't earned. And me, standing guard, helping it happen. I try to quit in August. I call Sarah, tell her I'm done. I'll work New Year's Eve like we agreed, but nothing else. She laughs. You can't quit, Marcus. You're marked. The mark doesn't release. It only tightens. I'll find a way to remove it. Others have tried. They're all dead. The mark is bound to your life force. Remove it, and you remove yourself. I hang up and start researching. Spend weeks in libraries, online forums, occult bookstores. I find stories about Ashford. Whispers, legends. He's old. Older than I thought. Some sources say he's been around since the 1700s, that he was a scholar who discovered a ritual in an ancient text, that he performed it on New Year's Eve 1776 and never stopped. 248 years of stealing time. Thousands of people bound to him. Marked, controlled. I find a website, a forum for people who claim to have escaped similar bindings. I post my story, ask for help. One person responds, you can't escape the mark, but you can make it work for you. The mark gives you power too. You can sense time. You can manipulate it. Small changes, minor adjustments. Learn to use it. They send me instructions, exercises, ways to focus the energy from the mark. I practice in secret. By October, I can do small things. Slow my perception of time, making seconds feel like minutes, speed my reflexes, heal minor injuries faster. The mark isn't just a chain, it's also a tool. But every time I use it, I feel Ashford's presence, like he's watching through the mark, aware of everything I do. In November, I receive another letter. You've been practicing. Good. You're learning what the mark can do. This pleases me. Your compensation for next month's ritual has been increased to $10,000. Continue to serve well, and you'll receive more power, more gifts. Loyalty is rewarded. A. He knows. He's been watching, waiting to see what I'd do. The mark isn't just a leash, it's a test. and I'm failing by trying to escape. So I change strategies. If I can't escape, maybe I can learn more, understand the system, find weaknesses. I start asking questions at the private parties, talking to other marked individuals. I meet Reynolds at a gathering in Boston. "You're still alive," I say. "Barely." He looks older than he did last New Year. The mark sustains us, but it also drains us. Ashford gives us just enough to keep serving, just enough to keep coming back. How do we stop him? Reynolds laughs bitterly. "You don't. People have tried for 2 centuries. They all failed. Ashford's too powerful, too connected. He has politicians, business leaders, celebrities all under his control, all marked, all desperate for more time. There has to be a way. There isn't. Accept it. Serve him. That's survival. But I can't accept it." December arrives. The letters start coming again. Reminders about New Year's Eve, instructions for the ritual. This year will be different, they say. Bigger, more guests, more powerful. Ashford is planning something special for his 248th renewal, and I'll be part of it. On December 28th, I return to the Meridian Tower for a pre-ritual briefing. The 50th floor has changed. More symbols on the walls, more altars, more vials of collected years. Ashford looks younger than ever. He could pass for 30 now. Healthy, vibrant, inhuman. "Marcus," he greets me warmly. "You've served well this year. I'm pleased. What do you want from me? Honesty? Loyalty? Continued service?" He gestures to the vials. "I have an empire built on time, and I need people I can trust to help me maintain it." "I never agreed to this." "You accepted the mark. That was agreement enough." He walks to the window. "In 3 days, we'll perform the greatest ritual yet. 500 guests this year. 500 willing participants. That's 500 years of life force, enough to sustain me for decades, enough to bottle and sell, enough to expand my operations globally. 500 people, 500 lives touched by his ritual." "Why are you telling me this?" I ask. "Because I'm offering you a choice." He turns to face me. "Serve me for the next 20 years. Work as my head of security, manage my operations, coordinate the marked. In exchange, I'll give you 10 years of extra life. You'll age slower, live longer, have power most people only dream of. And if I refuse, then you remain at the bottom, a simple guard, marked and controlled, but never elevated. You'll serve until you die, probably within 5 years. The mark drains those who don't rise in the hierarchy. It's an impossible choice. Serve him actively and live. Resist and die." "I need time to think," I say. "You have until New Year's Eve." He dismisses me with a wave. I leave the tower and walk the streets of New York for hours. The city is decorated for the holidays. People are excited for the new year. They have no idea what's happening in that building, what Ashford is planning. I think about the other Marcus Hayes, the one who tried to stop the ritual, the one who became a mindless servant. I think about Reynolds, about all the others who've been trapped for decades. I think about the vial in my nightstand. 1 year of stolen life, enough to convince me that Ashford's power is real. And I think about what I could do with 20 years, with power, with access to Ashford's empire. Maybe I could change it from the inside. Maybe I could find a way to free the marked, to stop the rituals. Or maybe I'd just become like him, addicted to time, willing to do anything to keep living. I don't know. All I know is that in 3 days, it'll be New Year's Eve again. And I have to make a choice. Serve or resist. Live or die. Become part of the machine or be crushed by it. It's December 31st, 11 p.m. I'm standing on the 50th floor of the Meridian Tower. Around me are a dozen other marked individuals. We're the inner circle now, the ones who run Ashford's operations. I accepted his offer. I wish I could say I had a noble reason, that I'm playing the long game, infiltrating to destroy from within, but the truth is simpler and darker. I want to live, and Ashford is the only one who can guarantee that. The ritual will begin soon. 500 guests are gathering below, the biggest harvest yet. I'm wearing a black suit now, not a security uniform. I'm management. Ashford approaches me. "Are you ready?" he asks. I look out at Times Square. Hundreds of thousands of people celebrating, counting down to a new year. None of them know what's really happening. None of them know that time itself is being stolen and sold in the tower above them. "I'm ready," I say. The mark on my arm glows bright. And for the first time since this all began, I don't fight it. I embrace it, because I've learned the truth about survival. You either become the hunter or remain the prey. You either take the years or they take you. And I've decided which side I want to be on. Midnight approaches. The guests below begin their countdown. 10, 9, 8. Ashford raises his arms. The symbols on the walls ignite with blue-teal light. Brighter than last year. More powerful. 7, 6, 5. I place my hands on the altar. The stone is ice cold. I can already feel the life force beginning to flow. 4, 3, 2. This time, I know what's coming. I know what I'll feel, what I'll steal. 1. The ball drops in Times Square. Fireworks explode over the city. Hundreds of thousands of people celebrate the new year. And below us, on the 48th floor, 500 guests collapse. The life force hits like a tidal wave. 500 lives. 500 streams of stolen time. It's overwhelming, crushing, beautiful, and terrible all at once. But this time, I don't fight it. I channel it. I feel a young woman's first day at her dream job. The excitement, the pride, the certainty that she's finally made it. I feel an old man's quiet satisfaction watching his grandchildren play. The peace of a life well lived. I feel a couple's first date, the nervous energy, the unexpected connection, the moment when you realize this could be something real. All of it flows through me, into the altar, into Ashford. But something is different this year. Last year, I was just a conduit, a channel for the energy to flow through. This year, as head of security, as an active servant, I'm connected deeper to the ritual. I can feel not just the memories, but the structure underneath. The mechanics of how Ashford's magic works. The mark on my arm burns bright gold. It's not just receiving the energy anymore, it's storing some of it, a small amount, a fraction of a percent from each of the 500 donors. It's my payment, my share of the harvest. I'm not just helping him steal time anymore, I'm stealing it too. The realization should horrify me, should make me pull back, break the connection. But it doesn't, because I can feel what that stolen time will give me. Enhanced reflexes, slower aging, faster healing, power that most humans will never experience. All I have to do is accept it. All I have to do is keep channeling. The ritual continues for what feels like hours, but is probably only minutes. The life force flows. Ashford transforms, becomes younger, stronger. When it's finally over, he looks 25, vibrant, immortal. The other servants step back from the symbols, exhausted, drained. But I feel energized. The stolen time is in me now, part of me. Ashford walks to me, places a hand on my shoulder. "You did well," he says. "Better than I expected. You didn't resist, didn't fight. You embraced your role." "I understand now," I tell him, "what you're offering. what this really is. And what is it? Evolution. While everyone else errs and dies, we adapt. We take what we need to survive. It's not wrong. It's natural selection. He smiles. It's the smile of a teacher whose student finally understands the lesson. Exactly. The weak give their time to the strong. That's how it's always been. I've just made the process more efficient. He gestures to the windows, to Times Square below. All those people down there, they'll age, get sick, die. But you and I, we'll still be here in 100 years, 200, as long as we keep performing the ritual. What about them? I ask, pointing to the collapsed guests on the 48th floor. They'll wake up soon, missing another year, another collection of precious moments, but they'll come back next year anyway. They always do, because they're addicted to the deal, to the wealth and power I give them in exchange for time. And if they stop coming, then they age normally. Nothing special happens. They just lose access to my network, to my resources. Most of them can't afford to stop coming. Their entire lives are built on my support. It's a perfect trap. Give them enough success that they become dependent on you. Then, take what you want as payment. What happens now, I ask? Now you manage the next phase. We have operations expanding to Tokyo, London, Dubai. Every major city will have a ritual by the end of the decade, and you'll help me coordinate them all. He hands me a black card, heavy, metal, my name embossed in gold. This gives you access to everything, bank accounts, properties, the Mark network. You're not Marcus Hayes' security guard anymore. You're Marcus Hayes, Executive Director of Temporal Operations. The title sounds absurd, but the card in my hand is real. The money is transferred, he continues. Check your accounts. You'll find the payment for tonight, $10,000, plus a bonus of $50,000 for accepting the executive position. $60,000 for one night's work, for selling my soul. There's one more thing, Ashford says. He walks to the wall of vials and selects 5 of them, each containing a year of stolen life. Your signing bonus. 5 years. Take them when you need them. Spread them out or drink them all at once. They're yours. I hold the vials up to the light. 5 years that belong to other people. 5 years of life force, bottled and commodified. I should throw them away, should smash them, should run. But I put them carefully in my pocket, because I've already made my choice. The ritual ends. The guests below wake up. They file out of the building, each one looking slightly older, slightly more tired. None of them remember the ritual. That's part of the magic. They think they just had too much champagne, stayed up too late, celebrated too hard. They don't know they're being harvested. By 3 a.m., the building is empty except for Ashford, Sarah, and me. Same time next year, Ashford says, but bring proposals for the international expansion. I want Tokyo operational by next fall. He leaves. Takes the private elevator down to his penthouse on the 65th floor. Sarah and I ride down together in silence. At the ground floor, she turns to me. Welcome to the inner circle, Marcus. Your life will never be normal again, but it will be extraordinary. She walks out into the snow. I stand in the empty lobby of the Meridian Tower. Outside, dawn is breaking over New York City. The first day of the new year. I pull out one of the vials Ashford gave me. 1 year of extra life. I twist the cap open. The liquid is warm now, like it's alive. I drink it. The effect is immediate. My vision sharpens. My mind clears. I feel younger, stronger, more alive than I've ever felt. And I understand, finally, why people keep coming back to Ashford. Because this feeling is addictive. This power is intoxicating. And once you've tasted it, once you've felt what it's like to drink stolen time, you can never go back to being normal. I walk out into the new year. The mark on my arm glows softly in the morning light. I'm not Marcus Hayes, security guard anymore. I'm not even Marcus Hayes, the reluctant servant. I'm Marcus Hayes, Executive Director of Temporal Operations, and I have work to do.